It is amazing. And I told her, don't leave anything out. Doesn't she look like a queen coming this way? I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. What she won't tell you is she is, well, she might say prosecuting attorney. She's going to say everything. But we also wrote a play that was put on together, and it was about the Ebola crisis. I've been asked to do that play again, but I know I don't have time. So this is my play sister, my play niece, whatever. I give to you, Maja Zion.
Without the microphone? Yes. Wonderful. The second thing is, come on back, Nancy. I walk real heavy, and I don't want my clinking to make a lot of noise. Y'all can still hear me? Yes. You can still see me, right? Yes. Okay. How is everyone feeling today? No, I don't believe you. How are you feeling today? That's what I'm talking about. I said that. Awesome. That's what I want to hear. You are doing awesome. You know why? Because each and every one of you are beautiful, you're smart, you're sophisticated, and you are a success right now. I know you like, I'm a success. Yes. I don't care what your grades are. I don't care what your parents say. I don't care what Keisha, Bob, or Joe said yesterday. You are a success right now where you are sitting. And the reason why you are a success is because you're here. You didn't let your yesterday, your mistakes, things you didn't do, things you wanted to do, you didn't let it hold you back. And that is what makes you a success. I'm going to share with you guys stories about my life. They are going to be personal stories. I want you guys to listen to these stories because at the end of each story, I want you to understand that you are not your past. You're not. Nothing you do, nothing you say can change who you will become unless you let it. If you say, I am a failure, and you believe it, then that's what's going to happen to you. But if every morning you wake up and you say, it's awesome, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am a success, then that's what you're going to be. First story. I went to law school. I am a lawyer. I went to law school and it was time to apply for jobs. Had to get a job. And there was a firm here in Indianapolis that I wanted so badly to work at. It was a big firm. I could have been making over $80,000 coming out of law school. Yeah, girl, that's a lot of money. Yes. And I wanted that job so bad. I got a mentor who was already working at the firm, and I took her to lunch, and I said, please, tell your partners to hire me. I wooed her with my personality, my good looks. I mean, I was doing it. I turned in my application, and crickets. Nothing. Nobody called me back. I not only applied for that big law firm that I wanted to get accepted to, I applied to all the law firms in Indianapolis, right? If one wouldn't accept me, somebody else was going to accept me. And crickets. Nothing. No one. I finally called my mentor at that big law firm. I said, can I take you to lunch? Can we talk? She said yes. Drove up to Indianapolis from Bloomington, and I took her to lunch. We had a great lunch, we laughed, we talked, and then she said, Maja, I gotta tell you something. I said, what? She said, you didn't get the job. Well, duh, I ain't heard from nobody. What do you mean I ain't get the job? Okay, but why? She said, well, the first thing was your resume had a couple of spelling errors. Hard, like, just like you, it's like spelling errors. I'm like, what? It hit, right? So that's the first mistake. She said, but that wasn't a big deal. There were some countries that we understood. But I protested for you, and I told them how awesome you were, and I told them how smart you were, and I told them that you'd make a great associate at this firm. And after that meeting, I had sold you. And then I went to my office. And the head partner of the firm, one of the hiring partners, came to my office and said, is this the girl you're talking about? And pulled out a sheet of paper and put it in front of the lady who's been bragging about it. And guess what it was a picture of? It was a picture of my mugshot. A picture of my mugshot when I was in college. They didn't want someone like that working at their law. So what happened? Why was I, this beauty queen who's standing in front of you, why was I arrested? I was arrested because I was stupid. I was arrested because I made a dumb mistake one night. I went out with girlfriends and I got drunk. I got behind the wheels of my car and I was arrested. I was arrested on my birthday. I was arrested the day before Mother's Day. My birthday is May 8th. Mother's Day is May 9th. I got arrested in my club clothes, went to jail, sat there until about 3 o'clock when my baby sister bailed me out and we had to go to Mother's Day dinner, and I was still in my club clothes, and I had to tell my mama why. So that happened while I was still in college. I graduated from college, got accepted to law school, went to law school, made good grades in law school, applied for jobs, and didn't get any because that mugshot was out there on the internet. That one mistake has followed me till today. I remember when she told me, I wanted to cry, but I wouldn't allow myself to cry in front of her. So I smiled through it and said, yes, I was arrested. It is my past, but that does not mean that I am not a good associate for your firm. That only shows and should show that I have changed and I am better. You think that made a difference for that firm? No. You think I ever got a call back from that firm? You think I got a call back from any firm? No. I left the restaurant. I remember it was downtown Indianapolis. We were at Fogo de Chao. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't Fogo de Chao. Excuse me. It was, no, the one we went to it's the Chinese restaurant at the mall. PFJ. Yes, it was PFJ. Yes, it was PFJ. Bad memories and good memories of that one, right? It was PFJ. And I remember leaving and my car was parked across the street. And I remember walking to my car, I got in, and I broke down. I cried. And the only person I could think to call, because I wasn't calling my mom, right? And she gonna say, I told you so. I wasn't calling my daddy, because he still didn't know about my arrest. So who was I gonna call? I called my sister. My best friend, my maid of honor, I called my sister. And she answered that phone and she said, what happened? She knew I was on the interview. She knew I applied. She knew I had gone to this lunch. What happened? And I told her, May 8th won't leave me alone. And she already knew because I still called the day, May 8th, that I got arrested. It was my birthday. I remember that day. She said, what do you mean? I said, it's on the internet. She said, what do you mean? I said, over Google my name. It's on the internet. And sure enough, she typed in Maja Zion and hit enter. And there it is for the whole world to see me in my drunken state on the internet. And I just cried. And she listened to me, and I said, I'm never gonna be a lawyer. No, I'm not gonna pass the bar. Nobody's gonna hire me. I am nothing. And my little sister said, remember what Daddy says all the time? Remember what Daddy tells us? And I was like, I don't hear what Daddy says. Are you hearing me? I am nothing. Nobody's gonna want to touch me with this on the internet. And she said, Maja, say it with me. Undibe. Lepona apon. Abore mo. Iake you amo. Undibe. Lepona apon. Abore mo. Iake you amo. My sister, God has already saved you. Why are you looking back? Move forward. Move forward. I could have sat in that car and cried, which I did. I could have drove home and cried some more, which I did. I could have not gone to class, which I didn't do. I could have focused and not applied for any more jobs, which I didn't do. I could have dwelled on my pathetic excuse after excuse, but I didn't. I went to sleep. I woke up the next day. I went to class with my head held high. I graduated law school and I found a job. At a place where I love what I do. I got a job in the criminal field. Something that I understood. I remember the bars closing when the man closed the bars on me and was like, you stay in the night here. I remember how that felt. I remember going to my lawyer and saying, please get this off my record. I remember that. But I also remember my lawyer telling me, you need to take accountability. You need to accept what you did and you need to figure out how you're going to fix it. Because you can't get away with it. Ever. So, I took accountability of something that I had done in my past, but I didn't let it define me. Because God has already saved me. He saved me from so much. How can I give up on myself? How can you, each and every last one of you, give up on yourself because you got in trouble yesterday? Because you got yelled at, because you don't make the best grades, because you didn't make the cheerleading squad, the basketball team, you didn't make anything. Somebody told you that you are nothing. Someone told you that you're going to be like your mama or like your sister. Someone told you you're not going to amount to anything. I bet. I tell you, God has already saved you. What you did yesterday does not define you. My DUI does not define me. It taught me a good lesson. I will never make that mistake again, but it does not define me. My past does not define me. It only makes me stronger. That's what your past does. It makes you stronger. My dad said, Lepona come to us all the time, especially to me, because my past is not something small. Everybody stop with me. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine Christmas Day. I want you to imagine waking up, seeing beautiful Christmas tree, lots of toys. Everything you asked for is under there. And imagine just touching it. Imagine your mom and your dad smiling. Imagine your brothers and sisters getting what they want as well. Imagine Christmas dinner, all your aunts and uncles at the house. Imagine that. It feels good, doesn't it? Open your eyes. At the age of 3, Christmas Eve, I imagined waking up to what you just imagined. Beautiful Christmas tree, gifts under the tree, my mother and my brother, us having a good Christmas day. But when I woke up, that was not what I felt. When I woke up, I knew something was wrong. Something was wrong. The night before, this man named Charles Taylor came to my country, the country of Liberia. That's where I'm born. The language that I've been speaking to you all is the language of Bassa. That is my father's tribe. We're from the Bassa tribe, and I've been speaking Bassa to you. So this man by the name of Charles Taylor came to Liberia, and he performed what's called a coup. Him and his soldiers rushed into our executive mansion. They captured the president, then Samuel Doe, and they executed him. And a war began in my country. A war that lasted until 2005. Now, when I was 3, it was 1989. 1989 to 2005, Liberia was in turmoil. You didn't know that, did you? Doesn't seem that long ago, huh? No, it wasn't. So, that Christmas, we packed. What time to eat, laugh, open gifts, we packed. Few days after that, we started walking. We walked from Grand Bassa County all the way to the capital. That is like walking from Bloomington to Indianapolis. Walking, not riding on no bike, not having a motorcycle, forget about a car, I mean walking. With stuff, yes girl. My auntie had me on her back, I was like, we was walking. And that's what we did. And when we got to Monrovia, there was salvation. My little sister, the one that I call, she is a U.S. citizen. What is beautiful about being a U.S. citizen is that when war comes to your country, America comes to get you. My little sister was about 6 months. I am not a U.S. citizen. I was born in Liberia. My brother, who's older than me, is not a U.S. citizen. He was born in Liberia as well. My father was away on business, and it was just me, my mom, my sister, my brother, that's it. And America said, no, 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 those two can't come. Me and my brother cannot go. Only my baby sister could go. So my mom had a choice to make. Does she stay with her 2 older children, or does she go with her newborn baby? My mom decided to go with my sister. So me and my brother, instant orphans, we were in Liberia. We're also refugees, right? Because we're fleeing this war. That's it. Me and him. When my parents lived in Liberia, we were well off. We had 2 houses. Before my mom married my dad, she worked for the Minister of Agriculture. My father worked for a very big engineering firm. So we had money. We had a name. My nanny's name is Ruth. I call her Auntie Ruth. She was the one my mother left. So, Auntie Ruth, my brother's name is John, and my name is Masha. And we got started walking again. We walked this time to another country. I'm not talking about another city. We walked to another country. Just us. 4 days. A group of people just walking, fleeing the war. And we lived in a refugee camp. And that's where I lived. From age 3 to age 7. That's where I lived. It was a refugee camp. How many people hear about refugees all the time nowadays? Hear about how we don't want refugees. Hear about how awful refugees are. Do I look that awful? Do I look that bad? I was a refugee. I was a refugee. My parents finally had enough money to send for one of us. Just one. How many of us was there left in Liberia? They chose my brother, John. I remember the lady who came to get John for the plane trip, and I remember that I was excited for him. You get to go to America. I hear that you get all the food you want, right? Because we didn't get food, we got rations. So there would be a bus that would come, and there would be rice, or there would be beans, and we'd all have to stand in line, and they give us a cup of rice, and they give us a cup of beans, and that's how you have to live off of until it's time for you to get more food, until the bus comes back. The bus didn't come every day. The bus came like whenever it wanted, whenever it could. But you get to go to America. You get to buy clothes, and you get to go to school. I was excited for my brother. I remember going to sleep, and I remember the next day waking up and my brother was gone. Where did this fool go? I'm supposed to go to America. Where are you? Nowhere to be found. The lady had to go. So, changed some documents, and guess who gets to come to America? Me. I got to come to America. I came to the United States when I was 7 years old, and I was angry. I was angry. Y'all thought I was happy, right? Thought I was a good kid, right? I'm in a new place, somebody saved me. No, I was angry. Because when I came to America, guess who I met? My mom, my dad, my sister. I got another brother. What? Nobody tell me about him. Y'all living a good life over here. While I was over there struggling in the war. You don't love me. You just put up with me. You didn't even choose me. You chose my brother. You really don't want me. Oh, you can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. I haven't seen you in 4 years. You can't tell me where to go. You can't help me. So I rebelled. I was bad. I mean, police bringing me home at night, I was bad. I was bad. Every day, my mom and dad's favorite phrase to me when I got in trouble was, you mind yourself, we're gonna send you back to Liberia. And they thought that was a threat. I'm like, send me back to Liberia. I'm gonna do it again. That's how I lived, y'all. That's how I lived from 7 until I went to high school. I was a bad kid. The best part, or I guess the saving grace about my life is I'm not dumb, right? I was bad because I wanted to be bad. Even though I lived 4 years in a war, I wasn't dumb. I was really smart. So even though I was bad, and in elementary school you get the N's on your report cards, I got all the N's. It was like, N, don't send her back. She can't come back to this school. Please don't come back tomorrow. Like, just leave, right? But then on the other side, where it was grades, guess what I got? A. You just don't know what's wrong with you. How many people can relate to that? You're so angry. You feel like they just don't love you. You just want to jump. You want to scream. You want to punch something. I understand. When your mama talks to you, you like, what are you talking about? You don't even get me. Some of you, and I know this because of my job, some of you have gone through the foster system. Some of you have gone and lost your parents. So many times, some of your parents have done some crazy things and you like, you want me, but you did this? I hate you. I don't feel loved. I feel like I'm second best. I don't feel like I belong in this house because I'm not a part of this family. Y'all don't want me. Y'all added me into the mix. Y'all had a whole family for the past 4 years. Where do I fit? How many can identify with that? that mean everything? Are you going to let it mean your life? Are you going to let the war, the struggle, the fighting, the things you've seen in your hood, right? Because I know I've seen death and destruction, and I know some of y'all have seen death and destruction in your hood. Are you going to let that affect everything that you are? Are you going to let that mean that that is you? Are you going to introduce yourself as I am Maja Zion, the refugee? Or are you going to change? Are you going to say, I am Maja Zion, the attorney? What's your name? Brooklyn. I am Brooklyn, the doctor. I am Amira. Amari. I am Amari, the nurse. I am Ludine. Got it right? Ladae. Yes. I am the CEO. I am the MBA. I am the success. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am successful. Are you going to allow your past to change you? Are you going to allow your past to change you? Or are you going to allow your past to challenge you? To challenge you to walk away from the war and the destruction. To challenge you to say, I am better than my yesterday. I am better than my DUI. I am better than the war that I lived through. I am better than the hate and the pain that I felt towards my family for years. I am better than all of that. And I know each and every last one of you are too. You are better than the last boy you dated. You are better than the last grade you received. You are better than your last text. You are better than your last social media post. You are better than the clothes that you snuck in your bag and you pulled out and changed at the bus stop and wore to school. Okay? I know. Yes. 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 Okay? And I can call you out like that because guess what? I did it too. Okay? Yeah, my kids not gonna have no one. They gonna be blank, okay? Or what? Clear backpack all day. Are you better than that? Are you better? And are you going to make sure that you allow yourself to be better? The last story I'm going to share with you is my story of limits. When I came to America, finally decided to change my life and to actually do better, I met a girl in the 6th grade. The girl that I met in the 6th grade is my best friend. We done been through so much together. Her name is Nikki. Nikki was a child of a working mom, single mom. She was also the child of a crackhead father. And I remember we lived in a town called Marietta. Marietta got one high school, it had one middle school, okay? Like, it's not a big town. And Nikki's family, Nikki's father's side of the family, were very, how would you say, prominent, right? People knew who they were. They went through the civil rights movement in Marietta. They were key parts of desegregating schools. You knew who he was. So when you saw him in his crackhead state, walking around, you knew that was him. Nikki, amazing because of her mother. Nikki's mom took me in, and she would take us out, Nikki and I, and we would go out, and we would go on drives. Now, Marietta is kind of like Indianapolis, right? Y'all tell me if y'all identify. You got the hood, and then you drive a little bit, and then you got, oh my God, where these houses come from? Yeah? Okay. Marietta is the same way, okay? So Nikki's mom, on her days off, would pick me up, and we would get in the back seat of the car. And I still remember this. We would drive through the hood, and we would go to another side of Marietta with these big, beautiful houses. I mean, beautiful. And Nikki's mom would drive around until she saw this sign that said open house. And whenever she saw the sign that said open house, I didn't know what open house meant, but we would park the car and we would get out. And she said, get out, don't say nothing. And we would walk up, and she'd say, hello, And then we'd leave. And we'd get back in the car, and Nikki's mom would say, did you like that house? Of course. Do you want to live there? Yes. You can. Masha, if you change, you stop getting in trouble at school. Nikki, if you focus on your grades and actually study, you can have that. That can be yours. Then she would take us to downtown Atlanta, and we would go to the Ritz-Carlton on some days, or the Four Seasons, or we go to beautiful restaurants with giant paintings on the wall, and she would actually take us to dinner. Now, she would always say, find the cheapest thing on the menu with the lowest number, and that's what you order it, because we would order everything, but we would eat in these restaurants. And then she would say, did you enjoy that? And I'd say, yes. You can have that. You can have that. If you do not limit your success, you are bigger than Marietta, Masha. You are bigger than Marietta, Nikki. This is what she would say to us. And guess what? I didn't limit myself. I saw the big houses, and now that I'm older, I care less about it, but I know I can have it. I know I can have it because I didn't limit myself. Challenge yourself to not set boundaries. When I was on the track team, yes, I did run track. When I was on the track team, my track coach, Coach Bennett, said, Masha, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be like FloJo. He said, no. I said, no, I really want to. Do y'all know who FloJo is? Okay. It's okay. That tells my age. FloJo was the fastest, beautiful black sister. Oh my God, when she ran, she was just amazing. Olympic gold winner. And she did it in style. I mean, like her pants, everything is just flawless. Like, you know Usain Bolt? She was better than him. She was our Usain Bolt when I was growing up, okay? Or is it Usain? Whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay? So I wanted to be like her. And he said, no. And I said, no, I want to be like FloJo. He said, no. I said, what do you mean? He said, you want to be better than her. Yes. Don't set your limit on FloJo. What does FloJo have that you want? Gold medal? Okay. What does she not have? I don't know. Go get that. Find your role model. Someone who you believe in. Someone who is amazing. What do they have? Go get what they don't. Go get more. Set your boundaries to exceed whatever you see right now. My father would tell me all the time, because I would fight and argue with him about TV. I would say, Daddy, I want to watch TV. He's like, no, you ain't watching TV. And I'm like, but I want to watch TV. He's like, Masha, if you just focus on what you need to learn in school, you will see TV that is better than any TV you've ever seen. I was like, there ain't nothing better than the TV we got. It's a big screen. No, focus. I didn't understand what my father was saying. I got married a month ago. September 2nd, I got married. And my favorite part of my wedding, try not to cry. My favorite part of my entire wedding was walking down the aisle with my daddy. Because it was a long walk. We got married in front of water, and we had to walk through a bridge. It was a long walk. And as we were walking, my father said, Masha, do you remember what I used to... Sorry, y'all, hold on. He said, Masha, do you remember what I used to say to you about television? No? What are you... Daddy, we walking down the aisle, focus. Like, it's like, no. Do you remember what I used to say to you about watching TV? I was like, and I sat there and I didn't want to just brush him off. You know, this is my walk down the aisle. So I thought, I was like, yeah, you said don't watch TV because one day I'll see the best TV. He said, don't you? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, well, the other day I saw a television that's rounded, it's like flat screen and it's round, and when I sit in front of it, it looks like the best. It looks like I'm right there in the water. And I was like, well, Daddy, you meant it that literally? He said, no, I meant for you to understand that things get better with time. And if you prepare yourself, you will get to feel and see the best. So when you were a child and you were so stressed about watching TV, and you were so stressed about sitting there watching those cartoons, do you see how much better it is now? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. He said, no, just look. I want you to understand. And my dad speaks another language, so sometimes he goes between English and Bassa. And I haven't spoken Bassa in a very long time, so I have to really focus to understand him. So I have to concentrate. Like, Daddy, what are you trying to tell me? And what he was trying to explain is, sometimes you want it right now, right? I want to watch Rugrats, right then and there. I don't know what Rugrats is. It's okay. Okay, y'all do it. Okay. I wanted to watch that right then and there. But my father was telling me to focus on school so that now, where I am today, I can see the best of the best. What you want right now may seem so amazing. What you want right now may seem like it is the end of the world because you can't have it. But I'm telling you, ladies, I'm telling you with all certainty in my heart that if you are patient and you focus on school, you get the education you deserve. You focus on being the best at who you can be, Brooklyn, at who you can be. If you focus on who you can be, Diana, if you focus on who you can be, Jaden, did I get it right? Yes. If you focus on being the best, you will see the best. You will be the best. You will get to experience the best. That's what you have to realize right now, is that whatever you have in your heart that you want to be without any doubt in your heart, you can have it. You can have it. You can have everything. You can focus. You spend your time working towards it. You don't stay. You don't dwell on your past. You don't allow your past to define you. You don't set limits. You don't idolize those around you, but you go beyond them. And you set your eyes not on the simple things of today, but the great things that you deserve for tomorrow. What I want to leave you guys with is love. Love. As I was walking down the aisle, my daddy turned to me and he said, Anji, do you love this man? I said, yes. Been with him for 4 years, of course I love him. He said, no, my child, you love him. And I was like, Daddy, I feel there's a parable coming on. Just tell me what you mean, okay? And he said, love. First thing of love is life. Is this the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with? Is your career as an attorney what you want to do for the rest of your life? Yes. Then, the O is for opportunity. Are you taking the most and the best opportunities to get you there? If you love this man and you're taking this opportunity, are you taking it right now and are you going to value it? That's the V. Value it. Yes. Then the E is for endeavor. You've got to work for it. So I don't care what you say to me. If you say you love something, if you say you love anything, then you got to make sure your life is going in that direction. and you are taking every single opportunity that you have to make sure that you are going to value it at the end of the day. And you better endeavor. You better work so hard that your life is going to be defined by it. And those opportunities won't be nothing. They won't even be an obstacle in your way because you're going to value it so much that you're going to work endlessly to achieve it. That's what love means. So when you find the one you love, or the thing you love, or what you want to love, I hope that it is worth your life. You're going to accept and take every opportunity to get there. You're going to value that decision, that opportunity that you're making, and you are going to endeavor for it. You're going to work so hard that nothing, your past, nor any limits, is going to stand in your way. Thank you.